Hello, everyone. We are live on the Queen Amina Show. Thank you guys so much for those that were texting and saying, "Are you not on today?" Yes, we are. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Any day that we are able to make it out here with our great content. And I hope you guys are already following our guest that is going to be finally closing in the subject of raising resilient families in the 21st century. We nicknamed it More Monday with Dr. Marlyn Morris. She is going to be finalizing this session with us today, and hopefully, we are lucky enough to be able to get her back sometimes again in the near future. But for today, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I want you guys to please keep the questions coming up. We love the questions because it helps us to respond to you and know that somebody is listening. And I will be putting the link to her college right under this video if you want to explore some more trainings on how to raise resilient families, or even become a coach, a life coach, a motivation mentor, whatever you want to do. She has a lot of courses on her website and her college, which is all gone virtual now for now, so you can access those courses for a little fee. But those informations will be made available under this video. So stay tuned, everyone. And also, I'm going to be talking with you guys about the Vigo Unsung Heroes Award coming up December 6th, 2020. It's going to be a virtual event. I will talk to you guys more at the end of this video. So for now, I'm going to bring up our guest, and she will take it from there. Hello, Dr. Morris.
Hi, my queen. How are you today?
I am blessed, and thank you so much for your time once again. I'm sorry you're not seeing my face right now, but it's all good. My voice is clear, and people love that pretty picture on the side of you there. Looking at
Oh,
you.
wonderful. That's great. Who
Thank
wouldn't actually?
you. All right, take it away, our Dr. Marlyn Morris.
Yeah, thank you, my queen. And hello, everyone. Welcome again to another session of More Monday. And we are continuing in the series about raising resilient children and families in this 21st century. It is a time of change, and everything has got to be changed for us to live sustainable lives right now, especially as science and technology, these disciplines are advancing in the world of work, in the world of health, every area of our lives. And who is this impacting more than our young ones, our children, and our youth? Okay. And so we have a responsibility to make sure that we raise them resiliently so that they will be successful in their academics, in their career, and in their lives to come. After all, they are the new generation. That is, they're going to take over from us older ones. And so we want to be assured that we are raising them well, that they can cope, right, in this life with all that is being thrown at them right now. And you can see it clearly based on the impact of COVID right now on our youth and our children. And the research is showing that they are suffering, by the way. Sometimes we don't think they should have a voice. We are not even conscious as parents that they have a need and they're being impacted. And so we need to find out from them how this pandemic is affecting them. They are becoming mentally unwell. And just think about it. Think about children that are differently abled right now, like autistic children, for example. Children who have to have special need teachers. Have we ever considered how they are impacted? How they are feeling? Do they even have a voice? Are we even listening? And I speak to this issue right this moment because we are going to focus on what we call social and emotional learning. It's a special training strategy for our young people, our children, and our youth. And by the way, everyone, because we have to learn how to manage life. And in order to manage this life and live sustainably, there are certain social skills that we need to acquire. And it has to come through the education process, okay? How we teach them at home, how they get taught at school. And by the way, teaching and learning is not all about math, science, geography, and all that. This is traditional. And yes, all the learning of these skills are preparing, that is preparing our children and our youth for the world of work, giving them technical competencies in order to become a lawyer, become a doctor, become a teacher, become a farmer, become a carpenter. All these are skills to help them to be successful in the world of work. But even the world of work is changing now with new technology. As you know, automation is changing the world of work. Okay? And so, whereas we can see, we think about the banking system. Time was when you had to get into the bank. Time was when you had to do on your banking inside. Now you do it online. Now you go to the till. The machine takes care of everything for you. Just think about it. That's a little glimpse into the future. And you see driverless cars as well. This is an amazing moment in time. And therefore, we all need to think again, question what is happening, and identify how strategies where we can raise our children and our youth to be successful in this changing world of the 21st century. Okay, so today I'm going to focus on social and emotional learning. These are new life skills that are necessary at this point in time that we call the fourth industrial revolution. That is how things are changing. We have 5G technologies, we have the smartphone, all that and more. And many of us are still behind. We're being left behind. Some of us as parents and grandparents, right? Now is a call to action where we all must take responsibility for the success of the next generation. Okay? We all have a part to play. Okay? What is going to happen in the world in this century and beyond? Okay? When we get uncomfortable, we focus on how to feel better, don't we? And to take ourselves out of such situation. Are you feeling uncomfortable? Do you see your children right now? Look at what is happening with COVID. We are teaching them online, virtual learning, virtual classes. And a lot of us as parents are not equipped to be able to master it and handle it well. But this too has got to change because I dare say online learning is here to stay and it's going to grow more and more. And my question is for teachers and parents and education policymakers, are we adequately equipped to be able to have the right strategies engaging our parents, our teachers, our students? Have we given full attention to this and what it is going to look like? Do we even engage the different stakeholders so we can derive or come up with new strategies that will embrace the diversity among us in terms of skills, in terms of awareness? Are we fully prepared? Have we given enough voice to these stakeholders so that we as policymakers in education, for example, do we give them that voice? You see what has happened with the opening of school. Some schools are closing still. You know, we have to be able to find answers and the right strategies to this. But today, I'm focusing on this rapidly changing world in which, you know, our children appear to be smarter than us. And we think that they have no emotional unwellness because they're smart with their smartphones. Have we ever asked them how they feel right now with COVID? And our research is showing that a lot of our children are suffering grief and anguish. Have we found out why and what we can do to change it? All of us that are part of their villages? What do we do as parents and teachers to be able to remain connected to our children and youth at this time in their lives? And that is why I'm speaking about this social and emotional learning. For today's youth and some adult learners too, it is an imperative, very important, that the opportunities to critically engage and train in new competencies that are required right now, cultural competencies, right? Understanding human dignity, the importance of understanding class, race, cultures, okay? The color of your skin, even racism, anti racism, all of that is topical right now. And we need to ask ourselves, how can we get involved to the extent that we contribute positively to a changing environment in which everyone respects everyone else, no matter what culture, class, or creed? We live in a multicultural world, right here in Canada, many cultures. And yet, we are not sufficiently informed as to how we need to show respect for each culture, each class, each creed, even their religion. Because, and if for nothing, because we live in a shared space that we call this earth, right here, where we all have to live together because we are sharing in this environment. Okay? And therefore, all of us have a responsibility, a social responsibility, to ensure that we contribute positively, right? To ensuring that we respect each other, because it is all about respecting human dignity and self worth. It is inalienable. You can't take it away. We need to respect it so that we all can live in peace and harmony in this space we call Earth and right here in Canada. Okay? So please, this is what we are looking at now to see how we can change the education paradigm, how we train and educate our children and our youth to take over and be responsible in the changing world. They are going to be tomorrow's leaders and managers and political directorates, okay, people. So we need to make sure that we engage to make them resilient, not only in academics, but the career they choose, the world of work, what it should look like. Because the world of work, right, in that world, we have people of different cultures, different races, right, performing duties to enhance a company, right, or a business, for example. Even in our education facilities, we are all there. In the schoolyard, they're all there. So we need to look at those skills that are of two types: the life skill, the soft skills, where we teach them what we call social and emotional learning. This learning will help them to become responsible citizens, respecting each other, and making sure we get rid of these prejudices and biases, because they're there, because we have not sufficiently considered how to educate our children and youth in these aspects of life so that they become self sufficient, self confident, they exhibit self worth, they know who they are, they can self manage, self control. All of this is, wouldn't it be a wonderful place if we teach our children from foundation level these skills that are necessary so we can have a world which is peaceful because of that respect for everyone that we ought to display? Think about it, my parents. Think about it, my community leaders, our pastors, our educators, both at the policy and strategic level and in the classroom, in the schools, our teachers, our principals. We ought to be able to band together. And it is time now for us to engage this social and emotional learning as part of the education system. It should be taught alongside the math, the English, the Spanish, the chemistry, the biology, right across the board, from primary into secondary and right up. And once you start at foundation level, in the homes, for example, how do we get our parents ready to ensure that they're able to teach from home their own children, right? Yes, we teach them about love. You need to love your neighbor as yourself. But do we show love to our children? Do we hug them and kiss them and comfort them? Or they just exist there? How many of us make it a part of our duty to show love, not just to say love, to show love? And it has to start there. Do we teach them by example? Are we good role models as parents when we raise the boy child? When we raise the girl child? Are we partnering with them so that they can be resilient? And if we don't know what to do we ask question, how can I be a better parent? How? Is there somebody who can help me here? And then they get into school. And it's the same old story because they're coming in with different cultures, different experiences, but the learning is not taking place. The teaching for sustainability and the teaching that is culturally relevant and the teaching that teach social skills to be able to manage well in the classroom. Are we doing that? Why are we not doing this? And by the way, I'll tell you that social and emotional learning, those skills for competencies in the social arena of life, self respect, compassion, empathy, love, all that and more. This kind of teaching started around 2003 in the United States with Castle, right, which is a collaborative, group to ensure that this kind of teaching and training gets into the education system. And such a movement caught on, I should say, in Australia, New Zealand, the UK. And only now it's getting into some areas of our education system right here in Canada. But it has not yet become official policy in the education system. And so we need all to speak out because this anti racism, this prejudice, this bias, this Black Lives Matter, all of that and more. Let's take a second look. Let's take a second look. How can we then educate for change to the extent that our children now know that it's not about the color of your skin? It's about human dignity and self respect and respect for others. Think about it, really and truly. I belong to that group of social and emotional learning purpose persons, right? I am a teacher for social responsibility. And we have a group of people, they're educators for social responsibility. We take on the important task of raising and teaching social and emotional learning, right, for children and their parents. And now we wish for educators to now think about incorporating this as part of the classroom of today in our Canada, right here. Okay? We need to do it. We have to commit to doing it. Okay? And it shouldn't be left to a few people, but our education sector, policy development, should take full responsibility to make sure that this is done. Because the color of our skin will not change. Our race, our religion, our economic situation, our social situation are all there. But we need to be able to navigate, to understand, to encourage that change in relationship that we seek so that we can all live in this world harmoniously. It's not hard when you really think about it. Seriously. Okay? So this social and emotional learning educators, they are influenced by Castle work of 2003. And I'm pushing for us here in Canada to take on full responsibility to ensure that our education system is not only recognizing the technical discipline to prepare our children for the world of work, but we prepare them for global citizenship and civic responsibility. That should be part of the learning environment. And somehow we need to find ways to incorporate this in our curriculum, in the primary school, teaching cultural competencies and social and emotional learning skills so that our children and youth can be responsible, right, for each other. The rights of everyone should be top priority. Teaching our children and youth about rights and responsibility, right? And how we treat each other. This is the prerequisite for a harmonious world. And yes, it may sound like utopia. How can we? We'll never have peace in the world. But I am charging you with the responsibility of ensuring that we can find at least some modicum of peace in our little corner of the world, even from in our homes, where children are learning right there how to be citizens, how to be good persons. They ought to do this. And so, as parents, we ought to be role model. We ought to teach them those social skills that will help them to be resilient. And as I said before, if we don't know, we should go to find out how we can do this. Okay? So that is very important for me, and that is what we want to focus on today. And as I'm saying, we need therefore to promote the rethinking of existing education systems, to promote and apply disciplines, right, of social learning, right, in the classroom, in the home. And it cannot be just out of the blue. It has to be strategically and inputted into the programming of our school systems. Okay? Because we want them to be responsible. We want our children to be responsible. As social and emotional learners and educators, we believe that the foundation of excellence, right, in performance, in academics, life, career, business must be rooted in early nurturing and training of our children and youth in these learning skills, soft skills, emotional wellness skills, okay, so that they can become responsible citizens, right? Exhibiting the right social behavior towards each other in the classroom, in the playground, in the malls, wherever they gather as people, right? We ought to be able to do that. Provide safe and supporting learning environment. We have to do that right there in the classroom, right? We need to provide that safe and supportive learning environment. These are conditions that are important to support academic discipline, physical, environmental development, you name it, respect, trusting, caring relationships throughout the school community, throughout our home community, throughout our larger community or townships or municipalities or neighborhood, residential areas, right? Everywhere that people gather, we have to make sure that we build these kinds of positive behavior traits, positive social relationship, positive development, where everyone will feel comfortable and safe in whatever the environment is. And that also calls for what I call professional teaching framework, right? Where we have to look at the practice in the classroom, right? Here, we as teachers will impact lives, the ones that are sitting in front of us. Do we teach them with prejudice and biases in our minds? Do we even ask ourselves, who am I? Am I doing the right thing? When I leave my home and I come into the classroom, and immediately I come into the classroom, I remember what happened in yesterday out of the school, in my family environment. I may be quarreling, I may be angry, and I come into the classroom with it and not respecting our children. And at the end of the day, I bark at them like little dogs. Pow, pow! We shout at them, we react rather than respond to them. And I'm saying time and time again, we have to now begin to re-educate our teachers in terms of education. And some teachers, don't get me wrong, they're very good. But there are others, who bring to the classroom their own problems and issues and challenges. So they do not even have time to think about those children in front of them. And they react rather than respond. So that teaching practice environment, we have got to look at it and see how we can help our teachers further to make sure that they're on the right path and that they are trained in social learning and understanding, because the way they respond, right, they are role models as well to those children. And if you're not a good role model, do you expect that they're going to respect you or even listen? Think about it. And I always say the teachers, they are coaches as well. They ought to be able to know when a child is not well. Being able to ask the right question with the counselors, how to help these children overcome issues and concerns that they may not be able to speak with parents about. We have to be there for them as partners in their education for resiliency. This is important, very, very important. And I really hope that once we finish this training or this engagement session, that you will want to ask yourself questions as well. Whether you're a parent, are you doing right by your child? And then you see, he's so unruly. He's not answering. He's rude. Why is he that? Why is he throwing a temper tantrum? Why is he beating on his sibling? Or why is she rude at me? I can't speak to this child. You see those very same questions you're asking yourself? Ask yourself, what have I done? What did I not do right? How can I make it better for Mary? Why is Mary reacting this way? Why is she doing this? As parents, you have a responsibility to find out so that you can build those social learning, right? Training them to be able to manage themselves, love themselves, build self-confidence. By the very same thing you do to them, they are learning from that. Okay? And dare I say, that you need to take responsibility even more now, where, they are zoned out of their parents, what they're saying to their parents, because many have the smartphone in the palm of their hands, and it becomes a refuge for them. When they don't want to hear you anymore, right? They zone out and they show disrespect, right? So we need to teach them respect and love for parents as well. And we need to show them respect and love, not because they're children or youth, that we will not show respect because we think we are older and we are parents and we know more than they do. Do you think so? Do you know what they're learning? Do you know that maybe they're learning, right? To realize when you're not truthful to them. Do you know they may be learning to know when you're lying to them? When you react at home with your spouses and they see that, what kind of role model are you playing? How do they become socially responsible when you're showing them by how you live, how you demonstrate relationships? How do they build social relationships if they see that you're not doing that? You're not even showing love to your wife or your husband, the way you speak to them. Don't you think your children learn that? That's part of your social and emotional learning. They have to see good role model so that they understand respect. When you respect your husband or you respect your wife, your children are going to learn from that. But when you disrespect, your children also know this. And you're preparing the boy child to become a man of his own home and the girl child to be a responsible mother. So if you don't show this in how you nurture them and educate them from home, do you expect any different result of who they grow up to become? Think about it. Okay. We have to recognize, right, that the traditional approach to teaching and education, it's all good, but it's inflexible, right? And many of us are unwilling to change, not because we don't know alone, but because some of us are so cultured into that negativity. We are conditioned, so we find it hard to change. Whether we are teachers or parents, community workers, even the pastors in our churches. And there are lots of issues out there where pastors themselves that take on responsibility of moral and ethical teaching, right, are themselves sometimes immoral. These are role models our children are seeing, our parents are seeing, and yet every day we go and preach love and respect. Interesting, isn't it? We need to do that. We want to focus right now in this point in time, right? And for a new mindset, a mindset where we change our children's mindset to be strong, a mindset of success, a mindset of abundance by teaching them, these children and youth, those soft skills of compassion, empathy, love, self discipline, self management, self control, okay, self worth. Once they understand these things and what they mean, we want them to exhibit, to show these to each other as they build their social relationship in their home with their siblings, in the church with their church peers, in school with their classmates, their teachers. Think about it. Okay? It's not hard, right? We have to now begin as well to teach some of the skills that we call critical and creative thinking skills. That's part of the social learning. In fact, the world of work now, demands, right, that we train our youth, right, into becoming creative and critical thinkers so that when they go out there in the world of work to get a job, if they cannot convince the interviewer, their potential bosses, that they can think critically and they're innovative, they would not have the cutting edge to land the job. Think about it. And by the way, creativity, innovation, critical thinking, these are also skills that our children, right, and youth ought to develop or be exposed to. And where else than in the school system, where we teach them collaborative skills, how they do assignments, right? Because there are many pathways to learning, right? There are many answers to different problems and solutions to different problems. And we as teachers ought to engage our students into collaborative thinking, right? Cooperation, right? And problem solving skills as well. Because the world of work is never going to be ever the same again. Okay, so we need to get them mentally prepared with this to be able to have the cutting edge when they go out to be interviewed for particular jobs. Think about it. Okay, this will improve their chances of being hired. Hmm? When they come in, they should be able to convince the manager interviewing them that they are good for this job. They're the best candidate, not because they have an A in chemistry, but they are able to convince the interviewer for this job that they have the social and emotional learning skills, compassion, empathy, critical thinking, all these desired skills to live in this 21st century, for them to be able to land the job. And it's important, right, for this because they will develop new ideas for transforming lives, okay, transforming even the work environment. They have to become children and youth leaning into adulthood where they are life changers for the better. And many times, in bringing about change, positive change in lives of them, their own lives and lives of others, require that they be critical thinkers and they be engaged in moral and ethical understanding and practices, right? Where they engage in a situation of trust, developing positive social relationship both inside and outside the workplace and in their homes, so that they will become responsible citizens in a globalizing world where you are everywhere within minutes, seconds even, especially when you use advanced technology of the smartphone. Think about it. These are very important times in the history of humanity, and no child should be left behind. No family should be left behind. Okay? No classroom with these powerful students with their lived experience should not be considered. They have to be considered because the classroom space is a learning space for both teachers and students. That's the new paradigm. It's not a top down approach anymore where the teacher gives the knowledge and they regurgitate it. They learn it by rote and they come back in the classroom and they sit an exam and it's recalled. And then we say, yes, they did well. They got a high score of above 80. A students. But think about it. Ask them these critical questions about respect and love and understanding. That child who will score 90% may be a child who does not know how to live resiliently. He may not even know how to love others and respect others because he's only focused on the academic excellence of in his biology, in his mathematics, in his engineering, but his social skills are nowhere. And yet, he has to live in this world where he will respect everyone, everyone, from whatever class, whatever religion, because we live in a multicultural society and we can't get rid of that. It's there to stay forever. And so we have to learn and teach our children how to live in this diverse world with the unity of action. Okay? I'll take a break at the moment.
Thank you so much, Dr. Morris. Um, it's been an amazing, amazing topic. I'm just taking notes here, and we have a comment from Miriam, and Miriam says, "We are so lucky to have people like Queen and Dr. Morris." Thank you, Doc. Yes, thank you, Miriam.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said again, you need to connect with Dr. Marlyn Morris for more trainings. The college website and link to access the website will be posted under the broadcast. Once we are done, please comment, and you have a special discount if you connect and sign up for any training
Yeah.
through the Queen Amina show. She was kind enough to give us that privilege to allow people to connect through the Queen Amina show to her college. And if you indicate that you listen to one of her broadcasts on our show, you get a special discount. For more detail, she's going to tell us how to connect with her, and then we go to the final part of our today's broadcast. Take it away, my
Oh,
doctor.
yes. Okay. So thank you kindly. And I'm always feeling so special to share. I think it's important to share knowledge with others, right? Because we do not live in a world by ourselves. And sometimes people need that knowledge so desperately, but they may not be able to afford. So for us, we do that. We do career enhancement programs, training programs. We also have a special unit, right, called the transformation coaching unit, where we coach one on one with our coaches, applying that to people as parents, women, young people, youth empowerment coaching. And we also train people to become coaches themselves. Certified master coach, transformation coach, certified master transformation coach. And this is all part of our Strategic Learning Alliance partnership for coaching, Strategic Learning Institute in California, right? So we do have a unit that has its own website. It's called drmarlynmorris.com, one word, right? And it's the unit is called Inspiring Life Solutions, where we teach you, right, to get well in terms of the different niches or target group, right? Whether you're a parent, whether you are a woman at risk, men at risk as well, believe it or not, we're not having sufficient conversation with our men folk so that we can raise the boy child resiliently, so that he will be one who will respect family views, right? And if you see the statistic, you know our men, our boy child, they are not doing as well as the girl child. And the question is why? Are we raising them to be strong men that value that virtuous woman, the family even? Think about it. So transformation coaching website is drmarlynmorris.com, and it is a unit within our private career college training program where we do transformation coaching in any niche market area, right? As well as one on one coaching. So check us out. And you may also send me, right, an email at docmorris.com, DOCMMORRIS @gmail.com. Gets to me very quickly. I'm always there to serve you. I really want to serve you because when you are trained and you see, you build that consciousness, you're going to impact other lives because one person cannot do it alone. It takes all of us together to impact the change we need in this world, the positive outcome that we all seek. So I will carry on, my queen, and I will look at education and knowledge transfer. How do we do this, and what should we should seek to do, right? So the first thing is to encourage collaboration, integration of skills for efficiency in the education system. And when we say integration of skills, we're talking about finding a way to include social and emotional learning skills in the curriculum of schools, right? So that while they are being trained in the hardcore skills of their subject discipline, if they want to do engineering, creative arts, literature, sociology, all that and more, right? That alongside from primary school right up, we should find a way in which we can incorporate those soft life important skills, life sustainable life skills, right? For living life abundantly and having the right mindset to impact our world for positive changes and positive development. That should be part of the education system from day one, right? From primary school. Okay? We have to do this. We all owe that responsibility. We owe it to our children as the future leaders, right? That are going to take on the responsibility of education, educating the new generation to come. All right? We will be gone, but we should leave that legacy, right? And feel comfortable that we are building a new world where others, the new generation will respect human dignity. Seriously. So we need to forge that collaboration and we have to start it with the partnerships. Parent to parent partnership, parent to teachers partnership, right? Parent to school. And by the way, wouldn't it be a wonderful thing when we have parent teachers meeting that we don't speak about this discipline only of our children, but educate our parents to partner with us as well, so that together, parents and teachers and school are of one accord in raising these children for successful future and raising them resiliently. Okay, so we need to be able to do that. Okay, and I want to say that, there are very deliberate strategies that we need to employ, right? And while I may not have all the time to do it today, but you can write to me, right? I can tell you in detail some of these strategies. And when we come back with Mo Monday, after about a month, we will be off for a while. When we come back, we will continue this conversation, right? We will continue this, right? So that we can help each other. And I'm there to make sure that whatever knowledge that I have that can help, right? I am passing it on to raise the level of consciousness so that you can begin to ask questions now. How can I participate? How can I do better by my children? Where do I go? What can you offer? We are all there to help you to do that, okay? Because that's what we were purposed to do, help humanity thrive, especially teachers and other educators and people who are taking on responsibility to raise children sustainably, for them to have sustainable living in this world, right? We have that responsibility. Okay. Today, I am going to stop at that point. But before I go, I just want to focus quickly on the skills that you ought to ask. Parents are to ask teachers, right? And teachers need to focus on in this social and emotional learning paradigm that I'm speaking of, right? We need to be able to build the competencies and skill for our children to recognize and manage their emotion, develop themselves to be caring persons, so they grow into caring adults. We need to establish with them how to build positive relationships and trusting relationships so that they are not abused, right? How to recognize those relationships, how to recognize when they're being abused, right? And it begins with helping them, first of all, to find out who they are. And as I said many moons ago, that as parents, we ought to ask a central question: who is this child that I brought into this world? Because he came with his skills, passion, and talent already when he was conceived. And you're custodian. You ought to find out, ask him question, be his ally, be his partner, right? So that you can guide him accordingly. Because sometimes we don't even know their skills and passion, or we don't even ask them, right? And when they show us different, that this is what they want to be, we deny them. We deny them. No, you will not be that. This is what I say. I'm your parent. This strong handedness and reactive responses do not go well. They do not go well with our children. We need to spend time with finding out from them, asking them questions, how they feel, what they would like, how they feel about a particular thing, you know. An event is taking place. Ask them question. Johnny, what do you think of this? And they will give you answers. They have opinions, they have thoughts and views, right? So we must help them to express these because, as I said, we learn from our children as well. Teachers learn from their students as well. It's a two-way learning process, right? That will help us through this journey of life. Okay? So we need to be able to do that, help them to make responsible decisions, right? And most of the time, you can teach by examples. And when you have family discussion, don't leave them out, especially when they are teenagers. Involve them in the discussion. What do you think, Johnny? This is what we're thinking. What do you think? Give them a chance to be part of the family unit and the partnership in the family, right? And sometimes you will gather knowledge that you didn't even know because they're out there with their peers and they're hearing. And they will tell you, mommy, Johnny's father is not nice to Johnny. And then you ask why? Oh, he beats Johnny, right? He denies Johnny pocket money or whatever it is. So what's your role? Your role is, well, you have to help Johnny, help him to overcome what he's feeling, talk to him kindly, show him love, because, he needs that. And you need to help him to understand who he is and show him love, show him compassion, right? Care for him. Do you know then that your son is helping to change Johnny's world? Yes, even your son can do that to his pair because of how you nurture him, to take responsibility, to show love and a caring relationship, building social relationship with his friends that are trusting, kind, loving, and understanding. And yes, he will go back out there and tell his friend, Johnny, I think, you need to show love to your dad. He didn't mean all of that, but I love you. I care about you. Okay? I will always be there for you. Your son is now a teacher, Johnny's teacher, because he's showing empathy and compassion for Johnny. And what he shows for Johnny is going to resonate with Johnny. It's going to click with Johnny. Oh, my friend Dean, he's so nice to me. I wasn't feeling well, but he was there for me, making me feel better. Think about this, okay? We need to be able to respect each other and help our children to respect the members in their groups. All right? So I think today we will stop there and just with one final word that remember these words always. Self-management. We have to teach our children how to manage themselves. Self-control. We ought to teach that. Self-awareness. Who am I in terms of what I like and what I don't like? You have to help them there. You have to teach them that they're worthy and very special. That's self-worth. Teach them to look in the mirror, right? And say, I am Johnny. I like you, Johnny. I love myself, right? When they learn to love themselves, they will truly learn to love others. Okay? And that's very important. It builds self esteem as well, right? That they are confident in who they are and that they are fearless when they go out into the world of work because they're taught at home and in school how to be who they truly are and express themselves accordingly. Okay? I will leave you with that at the moment. I hope I was able to at least raise some consciousness or awareness. And I encourage you that my door is open. Well, not door now because of COVID, but my online access is DocMorris@gmail.com. Morris at gmail.com. And I will always, always have time to answer you. After all, that's my mission to show love and help others in the world as far as I can. Okay? Good morning, everyone, and
Thank you
have a
so
wonderful day.
Thank you so much, Dr. Morris, for this wonderful session with you on raising resilience family, a partnership approach with you on the Queen Amina Show. Again, for those of you that are just joining, I see some people just came in. We are rounding up, but very quickly, Dr. Marlyn Morris is the founder of the Ontario College for Development Training, and I just put her contact right on the comment section, so you can contact her, like she said, via email, info@ontariocollegetraining.org, or the Gmail account she just left. I didn't catch it.
Yeah.
So you guys can just listen to the broadcast again and just take detailed information from there to how to connect with Dr. Marlyn Morris. Also, you can contact her
Share
on
it.
1-647-869-9400. Number again is 1-647-869-9400. Email is info@ontariocollegetraining.org, all in one word. Thanks again, Dr. Morris, for your time today on the show. And remember to subscribe to her YouTube channel and also follow her on Facebook and Instagram. All you need to do, just go Google Dr. Marlyn Morris, and all her social media handle will pop up. Click, 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 and follow. Thank you guys also very much for your time today. And we would see you guys tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on the Queen Amina Show. Thank you,
Stay
Dr. Morris.
safe, stay safe, stay strong, and stay connected. Okay? Bye for now.
Thank you. All right, guys, can everyone hear me? Yes, I think you can hear me. So that is it for us today. But remember, guys, Vigor Unsung Heroes Award is coming up December 6, 2020. Make sure you are connected. On the bottom, you're going to see the scrolling bar on the tracker there. Go to our Eventbrite page and please register so you can be in the same room with us where you get to comment, talk, or ask question on the event date. And that is Vigor Virtual Conference 2020.eventbrite.ca. Make sure you're registered. It's only $50 and you're helping us to be able to ship out the awards that we're going to collect, pay for the virtual platform that we're going to be using, and you're supporting us to celebrate the unsung heroes in our community. So make sure you are connected, you're registered, and you're prepared and ready. This year's event is going to be super fantastic. We have dignitaries that are going to be speaking on this year's at the event this year. We're going to be bringing you guys performances from artists from around the world. So we're going to be announcing those very soon on our Facebook page, Vigor Awards on Facebook. It's Vigor Awards on Instagram. And we have our Vigor YouTube channel, Vigor Awards YouTube channel also. So stay tuned, stay connected, subscribe to our mailing list. That way you get all the information that we're going to be posting. From tomorrow, the 29th of September, you're going to start seeing the post for all our nominees on our social media platforms. So make sure you're connected and you will get the latest information from our media team. So nominate your hero, nominate them in any category that you think they deserve to receive this award. Make sure you nominate them and subscribe to our mailing list so you keep updated with what is going on with us. Again, thank you guys so much. God bless you. And thanks everyone for connecting. Favor Olamide, God bless you. Thank you. I just saw you. Come on. And we are finished broadcasting today. But please go back by all means. Listen to the broadcast and it would bless you or someone that you know. The Lord bless you. Keep smiling, keep watching, and keep sharing the Queen Amina Show broadcast.